to BiWacky Weekly.
Yeah.
All right. So, today's episode, we have Clifford ranting about something that he wants to rant about.
Some things.
Yeah. Okay.
Things.
So, I have a lot of things I want to rant about, right? I have at least four. At least four. All right. Okay, so.
What's topic number one, Cliff?
Topic number one. I think first we're going to talk about my high school's grading system to start off.
I like this.
Okay. So basically, in the state of Maine, I went to high school in the state of Maine, and around the year 2014, they made it 2014, 2015. They made it like a state law that like all public schools had to practice standards-based grading. And you might ask, oh, hey, what's standards-based grading? Well, basically, it's grading, but every like point value or whatever is assigned to like a definition, right? So in this case, we had a 1 through 4 system, right? And 1 means you weren't meeting expectations. 2 means you were starting to get there a little bit. You're still pretty dumb. 2.5.
Pretty dumb.
Yeah. 2.5 meant like, okay, you're starting to show good signs of work, right? 3 is, okay, you have good work. And then 4 was like, holy shit, Jesus has risen once again. That's really good, right? No, that's like an actual comparison that they made. They made like, okay, you really have to go out of the water.
You have to be Jesus to get 100 in my class.
Yeah, and it was stupid, right? So basically...
So it was like the equivalent of like the Antichrist?
Yeah, pretty much.
So pretty much...
Actually, no, one's the equivalent of just getting the answers wrong on a test. So
you have to be Jesus. Bro, if you want to pass my class, just fucking walk on water. You can't? Well, you don't get a 4, idiot. You're pretty stupid.
But, okay, I'll start with that problem. So there's literally, like, an entire, like, outhouse full, right? Outhouse because of shit, right? Full of bad things about this system. But anyway.
Outhouse,
yeah. Outhouse, right? Because people poop there. Yeah, so anyway, so first up, 4s, especially when they first implemented the system, were literally impossible to get. They were so incredibly difficult. When they first implemented the system into my school department in 8th grade, I think I may have gotten 1 or 2 4s that entire year, right? Mm-hmm. And at the time, like I had in high school, I slipped a little bit. Especially like early on, my grades weren't the best. 4s, they were just way too hard to get, right? And it was expected you had to really go above and beyond to get them. But at the same time, they would treat 4s not like extra credit. They would treat them 4s as like 100s, right? So if in the old system, right, the 0 through 100 that literally every other high school uses, like if you just did all the work, right, and you did all the answers, did everything you're supposed to do, you're a good boy, but didn't do the extra credit, right, you get 100, right, and that'd be an A+ on your transcript. But here, with this new system, literally everyone in our school system was put at a disadvantage because we had to work, like, way, way harder to get, like, what would essentially be the same equivalency. It got a little better as the years went on in high school. Like, by the time of my senior year, they started to treat 4s more as, like, they were still highly regarded, but it was less, like, second coming of Jesus, right? Like, that was... Like, actually...
So you were Jesus twice?
I was Jesus twice my 8th grade year.
Damn.
And actually, I remember one of the instances, I was in my 8th grade history class, right? And basically, my teacher, Miss Thornfeld, right? She got up and she said, okay, so the last test went horribly for everyone except for 3 people who nailed it, right? And we were all like, we were all really stressed out because basically those 3 people, they all got 4s, right? Mm-hmm. And then she listed 2 people, right? I forget who it was. And the last person was like, oh my God, it's not going to be me. Like, I failed that test. And she's like, it's Cliff!
Jesus Christ, Cliff!
Right? And then I'm like, what? No way. And I was really happy because that meant I didn't have to do any more work. So another huge aspect of this is there's this thing called trending, and that was part of this system. And basically, trending was fucking terrible. That's basically what trending was. It's a good in concept, right? The idea is that your grade will point upwards based on the grades you got prior to that, right? So if you had like 3 tests in like a particular unit in chemistry class, let's say, right? Chemistry, right?
I love chemistry. You just aroused me, Cliff. Congratulations.
Okay.
5th time today.
What were the other 4 times?
They were all at lunch.
All at lunch?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, can you go into detail?
Okay, well, they had taco pizza, so that was number one. I sat down next to you, that was number two. The rest of the three were just me eating the taco pizza. Because it was pretty good.
Okay. That adds up to a total of 6, but I won't question it.
Oh, shit. I haven't taken a math class in like half a year, Cliff. Come on.
Okay,
Half a
okay,
year.
I'm sorry. That was insensitive of me.
It was very insensitive.
But anyway, so it's trending, right? Okay, am I good to move on to the next thing?
Yes.
Is I
I don't know. I'm just still offended, Cliff. That was
Okay.
rude. You're going to call me out?
Okay.
No one would have noticed that it added up to 6.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Yeah. So you're just going to do me like that?
Okay.
Well, he's
I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
Of course he
Yeah,
noticed.
Jesus,
Well, he's not
I got
Jesus.
a 4 in 8th grade, Liam.
My
Do you realize how
eighth grade.
impressive that is?
You got 2.
I got
so,
2, right?
Yeah.
So he's Jesus
I'm
squared.
Jesus squared.
But does it cancel out?
Cancel out with what?
Does Jesus cancel out with Jesus?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so Liam.
This is just gonna be an episode about Jesus. Like, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, let's discuss the...
Wait, hold on. First, Liam, I just want to say.
Edit that
Hold on,
part.
give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
Okay, I'm holding hands with you, Clifford.
Okay. Liam,
They
Yes.
are in fact holding hands.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to expose you.
Okay.
It was an accident.
I forgive you, Cliff.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's definitely staying in.
Yeah. So anyway, back on topic of my rant, right? So
Hell yes. All right.
Okay. So basically with the system, right? Basically the idea is that it would point your grades upward to not to be what it actually is. That was not a good sentence. But anyway, the idea is that at the beginning
you were so convincing with that, but I almost
You
just didn't
were.
question it. Then you were like, that wasn't good. But it was in
Yeah.
the same tone. I was like, It was a real moment.
it was
Stop fucking coughing.
I'm sorry.
yeah, Faith.
I had dairy.
I'm coughing because I had dairy.
Yeah.
Bitch. I didn't mean it.
Faith crying.
Stop fucking
Okay.
doing that because I have to edit that out if you do it.
Yelling at
Okay. So anyway, so with the system, the idea is that at the beginning of the unit, right? If you had 3 tests per unit, a student would, fail the first test because they don't know anything, right?
Yes.
Theoretically, they don't know anything, which almost never happens because kids are smart. They're way smarter than teachers give them credit for, and adults in general, right? And then the second test, they'd get a 2, right? Because they're starting to get better, but they're still pretty stupid. And then by the third test, they'd get a 3, right? And then everything would be good. But because those went upward like steps, right? You got 1, 2, 3. That grade would point to 4, and then they would get like a 3.5 or a 4 in the class, right? And that's good in concept. But the thing is, like I just said, kids aren't stupid. They're always going to at least attempt to try their best, right? So usually what would end up happening is like a student would get like a 3, and then like a 2.5, and that would end up their grade would end up being something like a 2.6, which is just absurd.
That's
and
stupid.
Completely upsetting, yeah.
But then someone could get a 1, 2, 3, and then get a 4, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. And there's also a circumstance where there was we actually had this huge, it was at a school district meeting. What are those called? Well, I guess a school district meeting. But anyway, it was we were protesting jump rope that night because they were going to be discussing about it because basically there's so much talk about it, right?
We were protesting jump rope.
Yeah,
Oh, is that what it's
oh
called?
yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh,
It's called
I was
jump
like,
rope.
why? It's just jump rope. Let the kids do what they want at recess. We want to jump rope. Ugh. First, they got rid of tag. They can't take this away too. There was protests. The principal had to push kids out of the way.
They got
4
police
kids were
officers
injured.
with shields to push back the
Yeah.
kids at the entrance.
You want jump rope?
Kids threatening people with Nerf guns.
It was a hostile takeover. 8:00 p.m.
But anyway, so they were talking about jump rope that night, and a lot of the student body went to kind of protest it, right? And there were so many, literally there may have been 20 students and 20 students and adults combined that spoke up against it. That went up to be Because they say that thing like, oh, hey, does anyone like want to talk about this? And literally like 20 people went up, right? And we roasted the absolute shit out of the system, right?
Fuck.
And one of the examples that one of the teachers did actually is basically he went, since he has access to jump rope and how the grading works, he went into the system. The algorithm's like absurd, by the way. Like I don't completely understand it, but it's really stupid. But anyway, he went into jump rope, and what he did, so he put 4 test grades in for one theoretical student, right? It was a 4, a 3, and then a 4 and a 4, right? And then there was a student that did 1, 2, 3, and 3.5. And the student's grade that was 1, 2, 3, and 3.5 was higher than 4, 3, 4, 4. I'm pretty sure the 1, 2, 3, 3.5 actually ended up being a 4.
So you could literally curve the system.
You could. There was so much gaming the system. That's what they called it. But anyway,
Gaming.
it would take gaming, right? Epic gaming.
I'm a pro gamer. I get 4s. That was fucking bad.
But anyway, so it would be, what do you want to call it?
Bad.
It was bad, right? So it would take 7 more 4s from the first student to get their grade back up to another
Are
like
you
a perfect
kidding?
4. I'm not kidding.
Oh my god.
That's actually the system, because since it was trending down so early, right? It takes so much more to get it back up. It was absurd.
It's homosexual. All right, so the strat then, like the optimized strat, is to get 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people did. I did.
So you
that
could
at some
literally
point.
half-ass like the first
Yeah,
half of the year.
Exactly.
And then just like at the end, just put all your effort into it.
Hey,
And
that's
then you would
exactly
get a
what
perfect grade.
students did. Like I tried doing that, but like for me, work ethic wise, it just felt terrible, right? Because I wasn't putting any work in. It affected my work ethic so much, because even if I really tried to do hard work, right, I had a fear that, and a lot more often than not, it did just end up trending down if I did put a lot of hard work into something sooner on in the year as opposed to later. Another thing that sucked is that the grades didn't end quarterly. It was consistent throughout all the year. So if you had a really good grade at the very beginning of the year, right, because like you're not overworked at that point and you're really motivated, it will literally affect you for the rest of the year.
So you don't want to be good in the beginning of the year.
You don't want to be good in the beginning of the year.
No, you want
So
to
it literally
like-
doesn't matter. You just kind of want to fail the first.
Yeah, that's what you literally want to do. And it also...
I definitely would have done that. I literally wouldn't have done any work.
Yeah, but also the problem with that is it also messes with eligibility, right? So basically... Like
It's
if,
such a
like,
twisted system.
It is so twisted. It was so messed up. Because basically, if you want to do sports, right, like winter season
yeah.
sports, right, you couldn't bomb the first semester, or first quarter, I guess, because that's what it was back then. But you couldn't bomb the first quarter because then you wouldn't be eligible for the second quarter of the year. So, it sucked big time with trending. Trending was like such a bad thing. And then people did game the system a lot. Like, I did that too a little bit. Like I said, I couldn't do my full extent because I just felt terrible because it messed with my work ethic so much. But even teachers, like, gamed with the system, right? Like, my teacher, Mr. Hoy, what he did, like, he was, like, one of the strongest anti-jump rope people. So what he did at the beginning of so it was my sophomore year. I didn't have my sophomore year because my freshman year is when they moved the system into the high school for the first time. But so what he did with his freshman class, what he did is that he put an exam out on their desk, right, and be like, okay, the very first day of school, and say, oh, hey, this is the first test of the year, right? He put it down, right? He said start. He stopped. He's like, all right, stop, pencils down, right? And he took the test and gave all the students a 1, right?
Oh my god.
Because it would help them out
Yeah,
later in the
that's
year.
amazing,
Right? It is
dude.
amazing, and it's epic.
We love that teacher.
You know what'd be crazy?
What?
If that one, like a teacher randomized what order the grades were in.
Yeah, and just like thinking about it, like it sent such a bad message to the students about
Work.
work ethic, right? Because also not only was the trending thing just like a bad message about work ethic, but it was also homework assignments. So there were formatives and summative assignments, right? Formative assignments were considered like casual things like homework, right? Homework, and then maybe like papers that you do like in class, like in a day or something. And then summatives were like test projects and exams and stuff like that. So formatives counted for I think it was either 0.01 of your grade, so like 1% of your grade, or 0.1% of your grade, right?
What?
So basically, homework assignments didn't matter. right?
At all.
At all.
Literally.
Technically, they did because we also had this thing called habits of work, and if you started slacking on your assignments, you get a bad habits of work grade. But the problem is, habits of work didn't contribute to your GPA at all, so
What the
people literally
hell?
just didn't care, right? So people stopped doing homework, right? Like I remember in my physics class senior year, like our teacher was really disappointed in us because literally only 2 people did the assignment, but like
There's
it's
no
because
you don't
there's
have
no
to.
point. Yeah, there's no point in doing it. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And obviously that creates a bunch of problems, right? Because then all of a sudden if you're not doing the homework, right, which is supposed to help you with the summative, you're not going to do well in the summative either. It's messed up.
That is
So
messed
each
up.
teacher doesn't get to like create their own like grading system kind of thing, where like homework is worth like a different percentage.
No, it was
It's
always...
just it's standardized
It's
for
all
every
standardized?
single
yeah,
teacher.
it's all standardized, yeah.
That's dumb.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. That's why I didn't do a lot of my homework in high school.
Haha.
And like comparing high school to here, like I'm so much more motivated, and like, or part of it's because I'm doing stuff I actually want to do. But I
Wait, so
know
you
another
never
part-
experienced a grading system with like
I
letter
experienced
grades?
in 6th and 7th grade. I did.
Oh, okay. But still, that's like no experience.
Yeah,
'Cause
and then
nobody paid
there were
attention
still
to it
like
then.
also what was even like kind of more messed up is that they were transitioning it into the high school, but it was only they started with just like freshman classes, sophomore classes, then junior and senior classes. But the problem is like I took like honors pre-calc and honors calc, right? So I had those grades. They were letter grades, right? Those were 0 through 100 because I didn't want to mess up the older students, right? And then yeah, so basically I had a mix of 2 things. I had to check 2 different websites to check my grades, and then they were converted differently, right, to GPA. They also changed the GPA conversion at least like 3 or 4 times while we were there, right? So literally I still don't know what my GPA is like at any point. Like the only point I know it is when I got into National Honor Society, because that was like the first iteration of the GPA conversion from jump rope to just GPA, right? And I remember I just made it to National Honor Society. I was 2.76, where the cutoff is 2.75, which I still can't believe, by the way.
Did they implement this at any other school?
The system was statewide for like maybe like 2 years, and then people are like, oh hey, like as soon as it didn't become state law anymore, like literally every school dropped it except South Portland High School, or South Portland school system, which was really stupid. And the only reason why is because our superintendent was a firm believer that, oh hey, this is the future of grading, right? This works, right? Even though I literally only know one student that actually believed in the system, and like he had a few good points, but they were mostly again in concept, right? Like in concept, it's a perfect system, or
Yeah.
perfect quotation marks, but it's just not applicable really to actual school because it just messes with so much. It messes with how a student is represented and how a student works. So that concludes my rant. Standards-based grading is bad, right? And thankfully, I have to say, because my senior high school, we protested it so much, they did transition back to a 0 through 100 system,
That's good.
which is good, right?
Good job, Cliff.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I think it's safe to say that Jumpstart sucks.
Jump rope, you
Jump
fucking
rope.
slut.
Oh, jump
Hey!
rope. I'm sorry, my driving school is Jumpstart. Okay, I'm gonna redo that.
You did a.
I think it's safe to say.
Shut the fuck
that
up,
just,
babe.
Shut the fuck up, Leo! Do you want to do it? You do it.
Clifford, I think that it is. Safe.
Okay, no, fuck you. Okay. I think it is safe to say that jump rope sucks.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
That was a good first rant, Cliff.
Yeah. thank
Clifford,
you.
one.
Anyway, on to the next rant. The Bulls at Commons.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The
So
balls.
the Bulls at Commons. So basically, this is gonna be a lot quicker of a rant because it's much less broad of a topic.
But it's
anyway,
very important.
so for those of you who don't know, I am an Rice Krispie addict, right? I love Rice Krispies. I can't go a day without them. I can't. Like, if I go a day without Rice Krispies, it's just not a good day.
I think you're
Like,
actually an addict.
yeah, I'm addicted.
So what's the draw? Let's start with that. What do you love? What's your favorite part about Rice Krispies?
Rice Krispies.
No. It's Crispy Rice. It's the off-brand.
Oh yeah, Crispy Rice is the name of the off-brand.
Actually, that's so fucking dumb. Crispy Rice.
Crispy Rice, yeah. It's
so
it's the Shaw's supermarket brand.
Oh, Shaw. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm cultured.
I actually work at Shaw's at home, so I can get a discount on the
Damn.
already cheap
Damn.
off-brand Rice Krispies.
It's called crispy rice.
Crispy
rice.
That's so
Yeah.
stupid. I'm sorry. I know you love them.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
I
fucking
agree.
stupid.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's
That's
funny.
so good.
So
Charm's lucky, bro. Are you guys interested in some Puffs cocoa? Why are
Puffs
you
of
laughing?
cocoa.
Are you interested in some Flakes Frosted?
Flakes, Frosted Flakes. That's the name of
Back to the original question. Cliff, why do you like crispy rice so much?
I guess to begin, they taste like wonderful. I just love the way they taste. Everyone says that they don't taste like anything. I disagree. They taste so goddamn.
I don't really
good.
have an opinion because I don't eat
Yeah.
crispy rice
Yeah.
or Rice Krispies.
Literally, whenever I tell everyone that I'm obsessed with Rice Krispies, that I'm addicted to Rice Krispies, they just say, "Oh, hey, Faith, can you? We're recording a podcast here.
Faith, yeah.
It's from Colorado.
Maybe we should pick it up."
Hello?
Ali. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening. My name is Lisa. I'm calling on behalf of the Boston Herald. We are conducting a brief study about the upcoming election. Are you registered to vote?
I'm sorry. I think you had the wrong number.
No, I don't. I'm just trying to know your opinion about the upcoming election.
About what?
I want to vote for Rice Krispie treats in office.
Oh, that poor woman. Okay.
Well, don't call me Faith. She has better things to do.
Yeah.
Like
record.
talk about
Rice
crispy
Krispies.
crispy rice.
Crispy rice.
I'm
Oh,
the
sorry.
expert now.
Okay,
Just kidding.
sorry. Okay, so anyways, I was saying, I just think they taste really good to start. Everyone says they don't taste really good. They're like, Cliff, they taste like nothing. And I'm like, no, they taste like something that's actually pretty good. So, and then here's the audio file within me, although it's not technically audio. But the snack, crackle, and pop, right? That shit is crisp, all right? It's crisp.
That shit
It's
is
crispy
crisp.
rice, okay?
I don't know how to feel about this. That sentence, every single part of it.
This shit is crisp.
Well, okay, so you're talking about crispy
We
rice.
talked about the bowls.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
We got on.
I need to talk about Rice Krispies. This is the opposite of a rant. I'm just talking about how good Rice Krispies are instead of how bad something is.
I'm gonna have to do
So-
so much editing.
Fucking Cliff's talking about Rice Krispies again.
Close to talking about Rice Krispies for like 10 minutes.
What the fuck?
Okay, well, you guys keep interrupting me.
I'm sorry, Cliff.
It's okay.
Please
it's
don't
okay.
yell at me again.
I won't yell at you again. I'm sorry, Liam. Let me hold your hands again. Okay, Liam.
I'm
Yes.
gonna have to start a counter.
I'm sorry. Okay,
This is the second. Yes.
I love you.
Okay.
Your fingernails are very sharp.
I know they are.
You are digging into my fingers.
That's your fault.
I guess it is.
I don't know.
Can you let go?
Snap, crackle, pop.
Okay, and then I'll just get to the chase. The last thing, the texture is really good. I just love the way it feels on my tongue. All right.
I love the way.
I hate that
I love
sentence.
the way it feels on my tongue. Okay. Okay. Are we good on Rice Krispies?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, onto the bowls, right? So the bowls and commons, they just kind of suck. So basically, instead of being like an actual bowl for cereal, they have like salad bowl. They're like salad bowls,
Yeah.
basically, right?
So I like them.
Yeah. So you like them because Liam literally eats straight up lettuce.
That shit
But
fire.
that shit fire. Okay.
It's so good.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Why do you think lettuce is good, Liam?
Because I don't drink too much water, and honestly, I would say 50% of my water, or at least like 75% of my water intake daily is through like lettuce or like vegetables and fruit.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
And it also is good. It makes me feel good. It's a
Okay.
placebo.
And didn't you mentioned like a few days ago that like you replaced them with chips?
Yes. In high school, I didn't want to eat chips anymore, so I switched it with lettuce.
That's a
Good
idea.
story, Liam.
Yeah. The bowls, they're salad bowls, right? And they're not good for cereal because they are just super shallow, right? So the bowls are themselves, right? Like if you look in the thumbnail, you can kind of see what a representation is of these bowls, right? They're extremely shallow. There might be like, I don't know, maybe like 2 to 3 inches, like probably less than 3 inches high.
They're
right?
a plate that wants to be a bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally it. It's a plate that wants to be a bowl. It's so shallow that it could literally be a plate,
Yeah.
and it kind of sucks. And it also has like just this awkward rim on it, right? That's just like only slightly less steep than the actual bowl itself. So it's just weird, and it serves no purpose. And it's just annoying because I just want to eat my cereal in peace, right? You know, I just want to eat it and enjoy it, right? But the bowls are hindering on that, right? And also because it's so shallow when you go to get milk, right? You go to the milk dispenser, you hit that thing, right? And then the milk comes out, right? And then all of a sudden, like, if you get 3 cups of Rice Krispies like me and put it in that bowl, which is quite a bit, and I usually have, like, 2 bowls of that. So...
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, if you put milk in that, right, then it just sloshes around, right? Because it's just so flat. It's just, oh my God. It's
Then it gets on the
awful.
rim.
Yeah, it gets on the rim.
Yeah, and then there's a rim of like at least 2 inch in diameter.
Yeah.
So weird.
And then it gets just covered in Rice Krispies because that's just, oh my God. It's so bad. It's so bad. That concludes my rant.
That was
Bowls-
a good rant.
Bowls be bad.
Bowls be really
Bowls
bad.
be bad.
In summary,
All right. Okay. I guess next rant will be, or actually, do you guys have anything you want to rant about really quick? So I've been doing a lot of talking this episode. I want to take a break. No?
I don't really have anything to talk about. I'm
no,
good.
Cliff, I don't really have anything to
Oh,
talk
okay
about.
then. I guess I'll go on to the next thing then. And okay, can either be cycling or the college board. Which one you guys want to hear?
College board. I
College
can help you
board.
out with that.
Okay.
College board sucks.
Yeah, it sucks big time.
That's a monopoly.
Yeah, okay.
It needs to be monopoly.
It needs to be unmonopolized, right?
Yeah, and there needs to be house rules involved.
So,
Ooh.
for those of you who aren't aware, the College Board sucks dick. And the reason why is because they're basically so it's technically a non-profit organization or a not-for-profit organization.
That sucks.
But they still make close to $1 billion per year. I actually looked this up earlier today. They make over $800 million a year. And that's all off of students' fears and anxieties about getting into a good school.
Yup.
Right? So basically, they're the organization that administers like the SAT and like all the AP.
ACTs. Yeah.
Yeah, all
SATs,
those
all
like
the AP tests,
all those and again quote standardized courses.
Standardized testing. That's
Standardized
literally
test.
bullshit.
It is, but the thing is, it actually isn't standardized testing because for every SAT that comes out every month, it's different. It's different. So,
Yeah.
like
So-
you can't go there, and that creates a problem, right? Because it creates a problem like, oh hey, this SAT was easy, right? And then this SAT was this like hard. So anyway, it creates a problem where this SAT is easy, and then this SAT is hard, right?
I'm hard.
And that creates an imbalance, right, between those two students. So if the students take the easier test, right, they're going to get a better grade than the students who take the harder test, obviously. And also, apparently there's a thing. Apparently they, what do you call it? But basically then they'll start, oh, hey, this test was easier. Okay, we'll mark, if for every question wrong here, we'll mark the student off for more. Meanwhile, in this other test, you can still get 1 or 2 questions wrong and still get a perfect score on that section.
Yeah.
Right? So it's stupid there, right? And that's just not good, right? So going back to like how they profit off of children and their anxieties to go to college.
Anyway, let's get back to
Yeah. So basically, they charge for the SAT, right?
They do, and that's the stupidest thing.
It is literally the stupidest thing.
Because like that's also I only took the SAT once, and I was gonna take it again, but it's like I don't really feel like spending the money on it if I already have I could have gotten like such a better score. You shouldn't have to pay money for like a test that is pretty much required to get into college.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what's even worse, in my opinion?
What?
Having to pay money for fucking AP classes.
Oh yeah, I was
That
getting
is
to
the
that.
I know.
worst thing
ever.
ever.
So it especially affects students that take the average. Or actually, I don't think it's technically an average. I think the price of an AP score last year for the 2019 academic year, right, was I think it was $94 per test.
Yeah.
Which is absurd, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have I know a handful of these people that went to my school who took like 5 AP classes.
One
like
of the
4 or
people at
5
my
AP
school
classes.
took 6.
That's insane.
Paid $600, and then one of our teachers was just bad. Like, the worst teacher I've ever had. It was so funny. But, like, so it's just like, oh, you wasted $100 and your time. Good job. Why do you have to waste money? Like, it's not no, I just don't understand it. It's dumb.
It is
It
dumb.
is
It's dumb. We should kill the College Board. At podcast episode 3, we take down the establishment. It's just AP Human Geography. Let me take the test. I don't know. I feel like a lot of kids in my school, or not a lot, but there are some kids in my school who didn't take AP classes because of the money it
Yeah.
costs. And that's like the same thing for me too. It's like I didn't want to take too many because it literally just costs so much. It's dumb. And
Yeah.
I remember I was talking to one of my teachers. He's like, "Well, I was like, isn't that like kind of like classist? Because like
It
poor
is.
kids just don't have the same like." Oh no, I forgot the word. Just
They don't have the they don't even
Yeah.
have the
opportunity.
They don't have the opportunity,
Yes,
yeah.
Cliff. They don't have the same opportunity as other kids, and it's just kind of ridiculous that that's still a thing. And College Board sucks.
Yeah, so basically, they just profit off of children, and that's not cool. And that concludes Cliff's third rant.
Well, it's also like. No, I'm just kidding. That concludes Cliff's. Next episode, I'm so excited. I am peak excited. I am very excited. I am so ungodly excited that I get to explain the Hot Wheels movie. So I'm because I love doing it so much because no one has ever heard of it, and it's so good. It's
And
not.
this is a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So for
Ooh.
the second episode, for our 4th episode, we are going to watch Hot Wheels and then we're going to review it with Liam.
Whoa. That's intense.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, that's a
Shut up,
wrap.
Faith. Edit that
Yeah, edit
fucking
that out.
garbage out.
Yeah.
You don't have to say to edit it out. I know what
That's
to edit
the
out.
joke. Can you just do a compilation of all the edit that out
Yes.
at the end? Counters.
This is where we fucked shit up.
Ah, ah.
Blooper alarm. Oh,
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So
We're so good
they.
at music.
Why am I forgetting this word?
Ah, ah. That's stupid.
Yeah. It
Edit
is
that out.
stupid.
Ah, ah.
So much to edit, Faith.
Ah, ah. Edit that out.
Yeah. Do edit that out.
Ah, ah.
Okay, I'm gonna drink some water.
Edit this part out, or don't.
I might not. I'll. That sounded so gross.